Hey guys, welcome back to another video. I'm going to show you my Trader Joe's haul for this week. I'm going to go through it pretty fast because a lot of these things are frozen and we don't live that close to a Trader Joe's, so they're probably melting. So I'm going to go through it relatively quickly. I also went to another store, just a local Italian supermarket, so I'm going to show you what we got there as well. So getting right into the Trader Joe's haul, I got 2 things of tomato paste and a thing of heavy cream. I used this for like making my own pasta sauce and stuff. I got a thing of kombucha and some olive oil because we were running low. Got some vegetable chips and white corn tortilla chips. Got these mini cheesecake cones. This is Brandon's sweet treat for the week, and this is mine. I was gonna make my own macarons actually, but they didn't have almond flour, so I just got these. Got some 2 bags of potato fries. These are hands down the best frozen fries you will ever eat. Next thing I got were some frozen strawberries, some acai packets. These are unsweetened, so I really like these. Got some roasted corn, some fire roasted peppers and onions, some frozen asparagus spears, some peas, some strawberries and blueberries. I also got a thing of ground turkey, some baby spinach, a cucumber, like 8 tomatoes, eggs. I also got, this is the soft and juicy mango from Trader Joe's. This is one of my favorite things to have from there. It is not the healthiest thing. It's like marketed to be healthy. It sounds healthy, but it isn't that healthy. And we got 2 frozen pizzas. These are really good lunch and even like a light dinner idea. Yeah. Brandon really likes these. I really like these too. They're delicious. And from the Italian market, we got 2 things of potato gnocchi. I got this TikTok apple juice that I realized like my jaw hurts so much. I have like a jaw issue, so I can't even bite into it. And I got a big pack of chicken breasts. They have way better quality meat than like anywhere else in terms of like a supermarket or whatever. So I got some chicken breast, and I also got this big family pack of New York strip. So we're gonna grill these tonight and maybe even tomorrow or save them for another day. Regardless, that is what we have, and that is it for my Trader Joe's haul. I have all my pantry items and all stocked up. As you know, if you've seen any of my other videos, I go to Walmart once or maybe twice a month to just supplement on any pantry items. So this is everything that we got from Trader Joe's, and then I'm going to show you guys some really easy recipes that you can make with these ingredients and some extra pantry ingredients. Some healthy, some indulgent, but all delicious. So let's get right into that. Okay, so the first recipe that I'm going to be showing you guys is how to make a homemade fettuccine alfredo. So for this dough, I have another video that is a little bit more like specific on how I make this dough, but basically it is just flour, eggs, a little bit of olive oil and salt that I put in my KitchenAid with the dough hook, and I let it knead for like 10 minutes, and then I put it in some plastic wrap and let it sit there for about an hour to rest. And now I'm just rolling it out, and I'm gonna cut it into, they're like fettuccine size but a little bit bigger, and that is basically all I'm doing. So it's really important with this dough, you guys, to make sure to let it rest, because if you don't, the texture will definitely be off. You can use like 00 flour or like any other flour. I used all-purpose and I think it still turned out awesome. So I'm gonna show you guys this little trick that I do to make the pasta unravel very easily, where I just fold it on either end so that it meets in the middle, if that makes sense. And I just go ahead and cut, and then if you stick your knife under and lift, all of the pasta will unravel. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do this with all of my pasta and set it to the side until I'm ready to cook it. In the meantime, I have a pot, or a saucepan I should say, with about 5 to 6 tablespoons of butter melting. Yes, like I said, this is a very indulgent dish. And once that butter is melted, I'm going to add some heavy cream. And this is about like a cup to a cup and a quarter cup. And I'm gonna make sure to salt this. I didn't show that I salted it, but I did salt everything to taste. I used salted butter as well. And then I'm gonna go ahead and add about a cup of Parmesan cheese. You can use like any type of Parmesan. Obviously, fresh Parmesan is the best, but this is what I had. So that's what I'm gonna go ahead and add and let that melt and all like become one consistency in the sauce. And again, make sure to salt everything to taste. I'm gonna go ahead and also cook my pasta once my sauce is done. And I'm cooking it in batches so that it doesn't stick. And pasta takes like 2 minutes to cook when it's fresh. So I'm going ahead and transferring it into the pot or pan that I plan on mixing with my sauce. And that is literally it. Make sure you salt and pepper to taste if you want pepper in it. I know some people don't, but I do. So I go ahead and pepper my Alfredo. And then I'm going to serve this with some steak. Brandon and I shared one steak because this is obviously a very heavy dish. So that was what we did. And there is the final piece, you guys. I was not able to finish this. But it was so delicious. I definitely recommend that you give it a try. Even Savannah loved it. So for the next dish, all I have in this bowl is some raw chicken breast that I have cut up into strips, I guess you can say. And then I'm going to show you how I marinate this chicken. This is definitely not for you if you don't like spicy food, but if you do, you need this recipe. So all I'm gonna do is add about 2 tablespoons of red pepper paste, and then I'm gonna go ahead and add about 2 to 3 tablespoons of soy sauce. I feel like with this recipe you really don't need to be exact because you don't need to add salt to this. Everything is basically all seasoned and salty enough, in my opinion, that you don't need it. So just make sure that you generally have a close measurement, but again, I really don't think that it's necessary to be exact with this. That's just my opinion though. And then I'm gonna go ahead and add to taste basically a ton of red Korean pepper flakes. So I use the Korean ones because I think that they taste the best, and this is like a Korean style marinade, so it only makes sense to. So I add a lot because I like my food really spicy, and I feel like there's no point in eating spicy food if you're not crying while you eat it. And then I'm gonna add a little bit of honey to balance out that spice. You can go ahead and add sugar if you want. I'm adding honey just because I feel like it's a little bit healthier. And optional, you can add like garlic powder, onion powder, black pepper, or any other seasonings that you want. I recommend also slicing some veggies in here. You can do like onions, green onions, whatever you want. But I just didn't because the whole point of this was really to show you this chicken marinade. And you're going to let that sit in your fridge for, I would say, at least like 6 hours. Let it go overnight or longer if you can. Once it's done marinating, all you do is put it on a skillet with a little bit of oil and let it cook. I like to cover it because I don't really want this to sear. I kind of do want it to steam, as weird as that may sound. So I'm covering it, and then that is literally it for this recipe. I recommend also adding some sesame seeds if you have. I didn't. You can also add sesame oil, but that's a preference thing. And this is the final product. I literally had to take a picture in the middle of eating it, but it is delicious. So this next recipe is so easy, and I love to meal prep this. All I'm going to go ahead and do is start browning some ground turkey. You can use any ground meat that you want. I personally really like the taste of like turkey meat, which is why that's what I use. But again, this is all, and every one of my recipes is all, you know, whatever you want to do, it's customizable. So what I'm making in this recipe is a chili. I guess you can say it's kind of like a Spanish style chili, but it is so easy to make because it's literally one of those recipes that you just throw everything into the pot and you're basically done. You can probably even make this in an Instant Pot or a crock pot because all that really needs to cook is the meat. So getting back to what I was saying, all you want to do is brown this ground beef or turkey or chicken, whatever you're using, and you can use canned tomatoes. However, I never have canned tomatoes on hand for some reason. I just never feel like I need them. So I'm just going to go ahead and add 2 whole tomatoes, and sometimes I don't even add tomatoes, and I honestly don't think that it makes that much of a difference. So I'm going to go ahead and add 2 whole tomatoes and let that cook down and cut up the tomatoes as it softens. So the only other things you're going to need in this recipe is corn. I'm using the fire roasted ones, some peas. This is the first time I put peas in it, so it is definitely optional. and this fire roasted peppers and onions. You can obviously use fresh or just regular frozen. It doesn't have to be fire roasted, but I really prefer these because it gives the whole thing such a great flavor. I'm so sorry that this clip is super slow mode. I recorded it way too fast. And then in terms of seasonings, I'm gonna add 2 of these packets of Sazon Goya. This is the one that I use. I think I just like saw it online one day and I thought this would be great. And I'm going to add a little bit of this Knorr chicken bouillon like powder and no salt. I just add this powder and I feel like that's perfect amount of salt. And of course the same red pepper flakes to taste, and I'm gonna show you guys what I do with that as well, and a little bit of honey when I add that in for the same reason, to balance out the spice. You can make this without the honey and the red pepper flakes and it will still be delicious and not spicy. So this is what it looks like once all those frozen ingredients are in here and thawed and warmed through. So at this point I have not added the red pepper flakes or honey. I have added the seasoning packets and the Knorr chicken bouillon seasoning, and this is where I'm going to take some out to save for Savannah because she will like this just like this. And I also put a lot of the liquid on the side for her because she likes this with like rice, and the liquid will flavor the rice, and she really likes this like that. So if you have kids or anyone in your family that doesn't like spicy food but you do, this is a great way to still, you know, have the best of both worlds. And then once I have this set to the side, I'm gonna go ahead and add a ton of red pepper flakes and a little drizzle of honey to balance everything out. And that is it for this recipe. It is that simple and it is so delicious, you guys. Put this over some rice and you will not be disappointed, and it is so easy. And that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.